Mike, welcome to the Rules Committee. We're delighted that you're here. How's Jan?
She's well, thank you.
Good. Please
I'll
tell her
pass on
please
to
tell her
her
I said
your
hi.
inquiry. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member McGovern, and distinguished members of the Rules Committee. I appreciate the opportunity to testify on the three Ways and Means Committee bills that the Rules Committee will be considering today. It's been 8 months since the House approved a massive and unpaid-for tax bill without a single Democratic vote. That measure is a reflection of the process by which it was considered: incomplete, lopsided, and error-ridden. Since its passage, the Ways and Means Committee Democrats have identified over 100 problems with the Republicans' tax law. Today, we're considering a package that follows that same process and will yield the same outcome. Simply put, this bill adds insult to injuries. We are going to have more hearing time on this tax bill today in the Rules Committee than we had on both tax bills in the Ways and Means Committee. Independent experts have warned that this unpaid-for plan will do further significant harm to programs like Medicare and Social Security. It could trigger an automatic 4% reduction in Medicare payments, a cut of hundreds of billions of dollars for programs that are essential to American families. And I'd like to ask unanimous consent to place in a record Public Law 111-139 that substantiates that concern of the cuts to Medicare and to Social Security. And it eliminates tax incentives to help middle-class families get ahead, incentives like the state and local tax deduction for individuals. More than 45 million American families claim the SALT deduction, and a significant share of them claim more than the $10,000 threshold. My home state of California had an average SALT deduction of $18,768 in that last calculated 2016. Where I come from, the SALT deduction is a middle-class tax benefit. More than 80% of the 6.3 million Californians who utilize SALT deduction had total family incomes below $200,000. The Republicans' new tax law makes it harder for families to afford home ownership and harder for local governments to make the investments necessary and critical for their communities: infrastructure, schools, and police and fire services. It forces families to pay federal taxes on income that they had to pay in taxes to the state and local government. Plain and simple, it's double taxation and it's unfair. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention that this bill fails to provide relief for victims of natural disasters. Year after year, we've witnessed devastation on a scale that brings thousands of families to their knees. Last year, it was fires in my district and hurricanes across Texas, Florida, and the Caribbean. This year, it's more fires in the West and more hurricanes in the Southeast. We may not be able to control the frequencies of these events, but we can give families the certainty of a helping hand in their aftermath. Most important, Tax Scam 2.0 once again demonstrates a fiscal recklessness that is an outright violation of our responsibility as stewards of the federal budget. The original Republican tax law adds $2.3 trillion to our debt. This bill doubles down on those costs to the tune of $250 billion. It's $250 billion per year. So in less than a year, the House of Representatives will have added more than $3 trillion to our national debt. Yesterday, the small newspaper, Mr. Chairman, that you referenced in your statement, the New York Times, flagged the cost of interest as the fastest growing government expense. Quote, within a decade, more than $900 billion in interest payments will be due annually, easily outpacing spending on our defense budget as well as programs like Medicare and Medicaid. And just this afternoon, on my way here to this committee, I got a notice on my phone, I'm sure you did too, that the interest rates were raised today. So every time those interest rates raise, and we warned of this at the time of the markup, every time the interest rates go up, that number to the national debt goes up as well. So digging out of this deepening hole is not a burden that I'm willing to leave my children or my grandchildren. In closing, H.R. 6760 is nothing more than another reckless tax cut for the rich that leaves behind average, hardworking families and punishes future generations, with great emphasis on punishes future generations. We should scrap this draft and go back to the drawing board. The committee also marked up two other bills, one to address family savings and the other to encourage American innovation. Neither of these bills received the adequate committee consideration that each deserves. The committee members were forced to vote on complicated policy in the absence of hearings and in the absence of hearing from experts in these areas. This rejection of regular order has unfortunately become the new normal. Committee Democrats hold a long-standing commitment to enacting policies to ensure that our hardworking Americans have the tools they need to save for a secure retirement. It's a top priority of Ranking Member Neal, as well as the rest of our members on the dais on the Ways and Means Committee. We should be working together in a bipartisan fashion, just as our Senate colleagues did. We should hold hearings. We should learn from the experts, and we should take the time to craft meaningful and fiscally responsible legislation. Democrats believe in American innovation and entrepreneurship. Democrats support the small businesses who are the backbone of our economy. My Democratic colleagues and I would have enthusiastically and actively participated in the construction of bipartisan legislation to help small businesses deduct more of their startup costs. We're interested in helping idea incubators attract capital in the most efficient ways. But that's not the process that the majority adopted. This exercise capped off by what appears to be another dead-on-arrival reception in the Senate told us how serious the majority is about making laws. I hope we can do better than this next time. I thank you again for the invitation to testify, and I look forward to your questions.
Congressman Thompson, thank you very much.